Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. I thought that was going to be like a 2-minute phone call and turned into 20 minutes. Argo, how you doing? How's your weekend? Going back to what Cobalt said before I jumped on. Tomorrow's my last ever mechanics class. Oh, really? So is your semester ending tomorrow or what? I just slept for 3 hours in the evening. Well, that's nice. I took about a 20-minute nap earlier. Also, Bruce has been here the whole time. Bruce was actually here before I was. I came into the office to start the stream, and he's already just chilling and waiting. But he's passed out. I don't know where my brother's at. Speaking of my brother. What's the verdict on this game for us? I'm liking it so far. Like I said, like I said before, like I think it would be better on keyboard and mouse. Cause like when you're trying to aim with the when you're in attack mode and you're trying to aim with the thumbsticks, I don't know if it's intentional that it's like got that wobble factor to it. Because it doesn't feel like, you know how like in some game, like let's say you're playing like, I don't know, like, let's say a game that you have like a gun and when you aim, like you got the wobble. And that feels intentional. This doesn't feel like an intentional wobble. Like there's just like this weird wobble that you experience with the thumbs, like the thumbsticks. But that's really like the only complaint that I have, and like I said, I think that complaint goes away with a keyboard and mouse. Alright, I'm back. Welcome back, Cobalt. I'm back too. So did you respond to whatever I said? I did, but you weren't here to hear it, apparently. I forgot the umbrellas you have to attack with the water. Oh, a new enemy, female umbrella ghost with cleaver. Yeah, I don't think she's new though. I'm pretty sure that we encountered her earlier. You also asked about the PC. It's currently working perfectly. I did ask about the PC. So it's all back and working good now, huh? So you're gonna get back to Dark Souls finally, or what? What are you doing, Art? What are you doing, Cobalt? Oh, I only remember seeing the businessman. Oh. Yeah, then it might have been the businessman, and I'm thinking it was the woman. I just remember the umbrella. I installed Dark Souls and launched it. Your saves were gone. Can't you just transfer them over from your other computer? Like, do you still have your old computer? I don't have the old PC anymore. Well, that sucks. Um... Ow, you son of a bitch. Hell yeah! I don't know what that guy was, but he was an asshole. A blessing in disguise, an opportunity to make a new character. Does Steam, like, does Steam save your file, like, supposed to save your file to the Steam account, or why didn't you, or did you just not think about moving your save files over before you sold it? You know, forgive me because I don't, again, like, my PC play is very minimal in today's world. I managed to snatch my Monster Hunter save. If I lost that, I would have been devastated. Like, did you just forget to grab the save files off the computer? Or? What you're saying is play again. Do not use Black Knight's sword. Oh, I did transfer every save. It just wasn't there. Really? Do you think that it saved it locally somewhere else and so the game's just not finding it? So you just need to find it locally and move it to the correct folder? Or? Oh, look at these little go-karts! Oh, they should make a game where you can race on go-karts. They could call it something like... Something Kart. Ghostwire Kart. I'm watching someone play DS1 for the first time. First Souls game too, but he got the Drake sword. Oh no, I checked every folder. Man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Oh, there's a kitty cat. Isn't Drake sort of false sense of hope? I feel like... Look at all those funds that I have. When I played... The first time I played Dark Souls, my first playthrough on Dark Souls, I was using one of those boss weapons. I was using one of those boss. It might have been the Drake sword, but I was using one of those boss weapons. But they don't scale. And by the time I got to on Orlando, it was basically like. Basically, at that point, it's just like it's not doing me any good to be using this weapon at this point. But I don't remember what weapon it was. I might be OP in early game, but it's not as good as even with Quelaag. Give me an early game weapon that I have to use until Gwyn. I mean, my go-to sword... I mean, I know I'm not Argyle, so I'm not answering for Argyle. But my go-to weapon in those games is the Claymore. Which I didn't discover the Claymore until Dark Souls 1. Maybe Dark Souls 3 I used a Claymore? Definitely not Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 I was using the Black Knight sword or whatever the equivalent is in Dark Souls 2. And as a reminder, I played Dark Souls 2 before I played the other ones. I played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls 3. I got 10 skill points. But again, going from Bloodborne to Dark Souls 2, I was like, why do people like Dark Souls so much? This game fucking sucks. And I will softlock my Pyromancy Flame at +7. Yeah, you can go to the catacombs early. How far, Cobalt, how far did you get in Dark Souls before? Because I also don't want to, like, start spoiling anything if you haven't been in some of the areas we're talking about. I also started Elden Ring, finally. Nice. Elden Ring is such a good game. Did you get the DLC with yours, or no? Also, guys, I am running a sponsorship with HelloFresh, and they are doing a worldwide one, which means you can get HelloFresh off of my promotion over there in Europe. You're welcome. What should I get? $25 and $10. Guess how many attempts it took for me to beat Margit? Margit's the very, very first one, right? I'm gonna guess. Also, no, I don't have Erdtree. That's fine. I mean, it's Elden Ring is such a large game without the Erdtree DLC that by the time you get there, the Erdtree DLC is gonna be like $10. I only ask because I think you can get the full game with Erdtree DLC for like $70, right? Like, I don't think you have to pay $100 to get Erdtree and base game, do you? So I could charge up for this. God, save for that. Which isn't about... The only thing is I don't have... Or we could do this one. Or Spectral Vision. I was just before Seath in DS1. No other... Okay. So you did Anne Orlando. You did Ornstein and Smo. And then I'm guessing that you immediately ran to Seath. Isn't Margit the very first like main boss that you encounter when you like go up to the castle? Yeah, so Cobalt, I'm assuming that you got your horse and went north, right? And started going up to that main castle. I didn't even know. God, that game is so like. So I was playing that, the same, like I bought that game when everybody got it. And I was playing it, and my friend went south instead of going north after he got the horse. And like he was talking about like all these areas he's in, and I'm like, where the fuck are you? Like, because he ended up getting, because you can only get the Claymore down south. Because like the whole time I'm like, where's the Claymore? Because again, like I said, that's my go-to. And I'm like, where's the Claymore? And he's like, I already got it. I got it at this castle. I'm like, where the fuck is that castle? Faster sneaking. Ground attack. $30 attempts. The first time I fought Margit, I don't remember how many attempts it took me on Margit. But the one after that, whatever his fucking name is, that one took me forever. That guy was an asshole. Everyone's telling me Margit will kick my ass and lower my ego. He's so hard for people who only play Dark Souls, etc. Cobalt, keep in mind, Argyle, Cobalt's the person who killed Nameless King in like 3 attempts. And Dark Souls 3 was his first Soulsborne game. He's just like, oh, I beat all of them after like 1 attempt, 2 attempts. So he probably did it on like first try. But Margit wasn't like I said, it was the boss after that I struggled a lot with. I don't know if I'd say I struggled the most with, but I definitely struggled hours with him. It took me hours to beat that second boss. Literally hours. Probably like 2 hours. And me going in as like, this Soulsborne player who's platinumed every other one. I go in, I platinumed every Soulsborne game, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. Soulsborne veteran. Nope, takes me hours to beat the second boss. Way to humble me, Elden Ring. Way to humble me. We'll do this one. If Cobalt was streaming, he'd be one of those streamers that would make me want to quit. Cobalt, how come you not? I mean, now that you got this new computer, you should stream. Who would have guessed that playing in 60 FPS would make the game feel better? I mean, I don't know, because everything I do, I stream in 30, so. Shibu Show. Flushing out an urban myth. A chilling rumor says that if you follow certain steps in a restroom on the 3rd floor of the old school building that's slated for demolition, something will respond to you. The steps in question are as follow. Knock 3 times on a stall door and ask, is anyone there? The Shibu Show detective team is on the case. After investigation, we found 31 people who know this rumor. Of those, only 4 to have tried it. Is this going to be something I can do? Also, I took him out of on my 4th attempt. The first one died before I even realized I was fighting a boss. The first one... What first one? Oh, is Treason... Maybe Treason... See, now I'm curious. I'm going to look this up. What are the bosses? Margit. No, isn't... No, Margit's the one I'm thinking of. I think, right? What's his arena? Yeah, Margit's the second boss. Who am I thinking of the first boss? So who's the first boss in... First boss, Elden Ring. The first major boss is Margit, right? Oh, no. It's the one... Is that... No. Margit's the first one. It's, yeah. It's Godric that I'm thinking of. Godric's the one that, like, took me hours to beat. I was gonna say, like, wait a minute, I'm... There's no first... Right, but, like, there's not, but there is. Like... Like, if you Google first boss, Argyle, it's gonna pull up Margit. Because, like, that's the path you're... That's the path the game wants you to take. Doesn't mean you have to. But that's the path that the game wants you to take. So the game wants you to encounter Margit first. I wish I had saved it somewhere. I truly do. I might even stream my playthrough. I mean, I think you should, especially since it's your first playthrough. The first boss is Soldier of Godric. Oh, okay, that tree sentinel. Let's be honest. That tree sentinel is a million times harder than Margit. I didn't like the tree sentinel kicked my ass so many times. I was like, I'll come back to him much later. The first major boss. The first major boss is Margit. Even if you do a Google and say first boss in Elden Ring, and it'll come up saying the first major boss is Margit. I don't know whether I should start a new playthrough or continue my... I mean, that's up to you. You're not that far into the game, but at the same time, like... At the same time, it's not like anybody's gonna come in and be like, oh, I didn't see you do Margit, therefore, this is some bullshit. Right? Like, they'll just assume, like... They'll just assume that they missed you doing Margit. I want up there. Here we go. Bam. Bam.